my name is David. I'm married to an incredible wife named Adri. We have a little girl named Daisy. And we've been coming to this church for the last 5 years. And man, it's been a blessing and it's just been a great honor to be part of the worship team. I'm going to go into the Gospel of John, chapter 20, verse 24 to 27. But Thomas, sometimes called the twin, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. And the other disciples said, "We saw the master." But he said, "Unless I see the nail holes in his hands and put my finger in the nail holes and stick my hand in his side, I won't believe it." 8 days later, the disciples were again in the room, and Jesus was with them, and so was Thomas. And Jesus said, "Peace to you." Then he focused his attention to Thomas and said, "Take your finger and examine my hands. Take your hand and stick it in my side. Don't be unbelieving." In this message, Thomas asked Christ to see the scars. He wants to see them and touch them. You know, we have all been in Thomas's place, often asking to see, to feel, to touch, to believe. You know, not that only Thomas wanted to see, he wanted to touch the scars. Why couldn't he just simply look? You could clearly see the scars on Jesus. Why would he ask to put his finger in the nail holes and stick it in his side? You know, the word scar originates from a Greek word called eschar, meaning it's dead tissue that forms over an open wound. There are different classifications for wounds. When a wound has an eschar on top of it, the wound can't be classified. This is because eschar is dead, dark tissue that makes it difficult to see the wound underneath. This may be more metaphorically accurate than historically, but Thomas couldn't see the depth of the wound of the eschar. The real wound was beneath the dark surface. The wound of Jesus Christ was much deeper. He was pierced for our transgressions, and by his wounds we are healed. The wounds inflicted upon him, metaphorically and literally, brought the whole world and Thomas healing. Thomas needed to see underneath the eschar, and maybe your friends and family needs to as well. In the wounding, there is healing. You know, in the Old Testament, frankincense was added to grain sacrifice to sweeten the smell. The sweet sacrifice is a result of affliction. Frankincense is a resin from a buzzwalla tree. In order to harvest this resin, farmers intentionally injure the tree. When the tree is injured, it produces this gummy white resin. Farmers intentionally injure the tree, and then in the end, this gummy resin protects the wound like eschar. Frankincense is harvested from the tree's wound and then mainly used as a healing agent. Your scars are your testimony. I have been sexually abused as a teenager. I committed suicide 3 times and failed. By the grace of God, I shouldn't be a father today. I shouldn't be a husband today. But you know what? My scar no longer throbs. My wound no longer throbs because my scar tells the story of Christ. You know, but you will never know how deep of an impact your scars will bring if you don't shine a light to it. But your scars are not only how you've been hurt, but it's also how you've hurt others, how you've fallen short for God and man. Your scars are your burning habits. Your scars are your anger, your resentment. And Christ died for this too. We are no longer our own. The scars that tell the stories of our lives are not ours to hide. We are hidden in Christ and not in our shame or trauma and sin. We don't have anything to hide against. St. Augustine literally wrote a book on this about meaning confessing. He said, "Confess to yourself to truly know who you are. Once only you confess to yourself, then you'll know who Christ really is." In the same thing with others. They wouldn't see Christ unless they see you. We are too familiar with hiding. But Thomas saw and felt and did not see and experience a Christ who hides, who preserves himself and saves his face, but one who allows his scars to be seen and to be touched. Thank you.